Okay, question number 22. And this is a tricky one, and I think it's made more tricky by the fact that we've got lines here. Because as you'll see, I'll want to model this with a tree diagram, which is, I think, the most sensible way to model it. And the lines might sort of indicate you want to do a lot of careful working out, whereas in fact, you know, I definitely want to model this with a tree diagram. So here goes. Right, the easy bit is Dave's chance. Right, so bag A contains 8 chocolates and 16 chews. Bag B contains 11 chocolate and 12 chews. Dave takes an item out of bag A at random. He puts it into bag B. Mike now takes an item from bag B at random. So we've got conditional probability because what Dave does impacts on what Mike does. They're not independent events. Let's have a look at this. So the probability of Dave picking a chocolate. So probability of Dave, that's the simple bit. The probability of Dave, choosing chocolate. Dave choose choc. Okay, so I'm going to call chocolate C. I'm going to call chew W. Okay, so I might actually call it choc and chew. The probability that James chooses chocolate, that's just 8, which is the number of chocolates, out of 24, which is the total number of sweets or chocs and chews in that bag. And 8 out of 24 is the same as a third. So that's his probability. That's my easy bit. Now, the probability of Mike choosing a chocolate is more complicated, significantly more complicated, because it depends on what Dave chooses, what occurs. So I'm going to model this with a tree diagram. And my first branch is going to be what Dave does. Okay? So Dave either chooses a choc or he chooses a chew. If he chooses a choc or a chew, his chances that he chooses a choc, we said, were 1/3. And therefore, the chances that he chooses the chew are 16 out of 24, which is 2/3. Now, the next bit is Mike's. Now it's Mike's turn. And Mike will either choose a chocolate or a chew. And he will either choose a chocolate or a chew, and he can choose a chocolate or a chew no matter what Dave chose there. It doesn't block off his options. It does change the probability, which we'll see in a moment. Okay. So, if Dave has chosen a chocolate, he then puts that chocolate into bag B. So, what this means is that there's going to be one more thing overall in bag B. So at the moment it looks like there's going to be 33 things. But once Dave has put his additional thing in, there's going to be 34 things in this bag. Now, if Dave has chosen a choc, then he's putting the chocolate into this bag. So there's now not 11 chocolates in that bag B, but 12 chocolates. And there's still 22 chews. So this is what could happen in the second pick for Mike. Now, if Dave chose a chew, right, which is that 2/3 chance, then he's got this chew out and he's put it into the bag B. So there's 34, isn't there, which we just said. There's 34 now sweets in that bag. And if he's taken a chew, he's then put that in the bag. So there's not 22 chews in there. There's now 23 chews in there. But there would still just be 11 chocolates, adding up to my 34 in total. So I've modelled this situation. Not quite finished now, because I need to work out the probability that Mike chooses a chocolate. So that's this probability or this probability. So So I'm going to multiply along the branches to find those probabilities. So I've got 1/3 times by 12/24. Oh, sorry, 34, of course, yeah. So that is 12 out of 104. And if I go this way, it's 2/3, multiplying along the branches, times 11 out of 34, which is 22 out of 34, out of 104. What do I do? 104. So if it's this one or this one, I can add those probabilities together. So the probability of Mike choosing chalk, Mike choose chalk, yeah, equals 12 out of 104 plus 22 out of 104, which equals 34 out of 104, which equals 1/3. So we've shown, and I'll just finish it off. So therefore, P, Dave, choose chalk equals P, Mike, choose chalk. And let's just put that, it's equal to 1/3. So I think because they have these lines here, it discouraged you from setting this up as a tree diagram, which I think is very helpful in working out the problem.